Connect. Brilliant. And it says now we are live on the Facebook page as well. So hello to everybody who's just finding that on the Facebook page. Welcome everybody, including those who find the video after the event, whether it's later on this evening or tomorrow or in the next couple of days. Hi everybody who are just arriving there on the Zoom. We're just going to have a couple of minutes before we start, but tonight, following the new pattern of these that we have started this month, we've got the drumming circle this evening, and it's alternating. I realised that there was a mistake that I'd put into the recent newsletter. We're alternating between the drumming circle and the journeying evening. So we're drumming circle tonight, and we'll be back again on the 9th of March. It was the 9th of February obviously as well this month, but yeah, same 9th of March we'll be back again with the journeying circle. And hello everybody who's saying hi on the Facebook video there. Great to see you all. Thanks for connecting on here again. As well on the Zoom, hello everybody there. Do please use the chat section so that we can talk amongst ourselves while we just wait for a few more people to arrive, and we'll be beginning shortly. And if it's your first time along on these, I've put I've shared the event page out quite a lot in the last few days. So if you've only recently found out about this and have joined in from there, do let us know. And yeah, thanks those who've already started. Do let us know where you're joining in from. This tends to be kind of quite a wide circle, spreading all around the world, and it's good to get a sense of where everybody's connecting in from at the start of this, and get a feel of how wide this circle is that we're casting this evening. Excellent. Great to see regular friends from Edinburgh, from San Francisco, from Pennsylvania. Speaking of regular friends, you're all regular friends with Heidi. You may hear her in the background there on occasion. Not sure what's happening on the street today. Whatever it is, she likes to join in. It's a fear of missing out, FOMO, that she suffers from. If she hears a dog seeming like it's having some fun down the road, she'll join in with a bark. Fantastic. So people joining in from North Kilworth, from Essex. Let's see if I missed anyone here. From Gisborough. Oh, I can hear the dogs down the road as well. That's what's starting it off. Hey there to friends in Denmark. Brilliant. Oh, and some more people joining on the Zoom call as well. Fantastic. Love to see people joining here from London. Superb. Some friends in France. Great to see you here. One question that I am interested to know as well is a sense of how many people know when it's drum circle night and are ready for drum circle night, and how many people just spot the notification pop up that it's happening on Facebook, for example, and find themselves last minute scrambling from one room to another. I do emphasise this kind of at the beginning of really taking some time to ground and centre yourself before we start, but it's kind of good just to get a sense of how many people just spot the notification, Heron Drums are alive, and go, oh, right, okay, we're on. And how many people kind of block the evening aside and banish everybody else to other rooms. Okay, fantastic. So we've got more friends joining from Staffordshire, from Norfolk, from Croatia. Some self-confessed scramblers, fantastic. Friends joining from Lincolnshire. Others who have just found the page, others who are waiting for it. Great, thank you everybody for letting me know. This is really useful to know, to get a sense of that. balance of people who have it in their diary ready and ahead, and those who see when it pops up. Fantastic. And the dog is waiting too. Well, Heidi has to kind of wait. She sees me setting up the room ready for drum circle. Brilliant. We've got a few more people joining in on the Zoom call as well. So we're just in a minute or two we'll start. For a few more scramblers who will just find the notification, one thing that really helps is if you're able to share the video. If you're on Facebook Live, I think it should say in the bottom right hand corner or something like that, share. If you found out about this in a group, or you saw this shared on your Facebook profile, if you're able to click share, that's just something that's helpful for other people to be able to find it who aren't otherwise able to see it. And then we can widen the circle out even more. All right, people joining in from northeast of US. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon there, where we're just after 7 o'clock here. So it's very, very widespread circle. Really fantastic to have everybody on here. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, we've got just a handful more people just arriving on Zoom. Let's give them a moment just to arrive. And for us all to have a little bit of a moment to arrive at the beginning here, even if we've had this in the calendar and been ready for the evening and prepared, or for the afternoon, those who are joining over in the States, and or those who just found the notification and just getting themselves ready. Let's all just take a moment just to centre and ground. In where we're seated, just take a moment just to make sure that we're comfortable. Feel into our body where we are, where we're sitting, and make sure that we're really comfortable there. If we need to adjust anything, even if it just makes us that 1% more comfortable, it will help us settle that little bit more for the evening. And just take a moment just to focus on your breath. And start, there's no need to change or affect it in any way. Just focus on that breath. Noticing the sensations of the breath as it comes in. That feeling as you fill with air. And that feeling of release as you exhale. For those just arriving, we're just taking a moment just to centre at the start. Just to ground ourselves. Just simply by feeling into our body to make sure that we're comfortable. And just tuning in with our breath. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of our chest or our shoulders as we breathe. And if visualizations work for you, imagining, visualizing and seeing those roots, or feeling those roots that come from that grounding root chakra at the base of the spine, but come out through the bottom of your feet, down through the earth, pushing through the layers of soil and earth, through the stones and the underwater streams, connecting deeply there, holding you grounded. And as we breathe, let's also breathe that energy from the earth up through our roots, all the way up through us, and breathing that grounding energy up through us, as if we're breathing that up through our roots and up into our trunk, into the centre of our body, and continuing this sense of our tree selves, continuing up through the branches and breathing out through those branches, through the leaves maybe, and out into the sky. And as we did earlier this month, just alternating that. And with the next breath, breathing in from the heavens, breathing in from the sun and from the moon and from the stars, down through those branches, bringing all of that light energy down through to the trunk, and then breathing out through the roots. And then again through the roots, up through the trunk, and out through the branches. Grounded and connected to this earth, and connected to that energy of the skies above. And if you work with smudge herbs or smudge plants as a way for cleansing and grounding and centering, then do join in with this. I just light them here. For myself, for me, it's what my body, my spirit knows as the start of entering sacred space and sacred work. And with that, I call on the plant spirits for their wisdom and their medicine and their strength. Call on that cleansing, that healing. Call on their blessings to help me be focused and centered this evening. For anything that I don't need for this evening, to leave out of the room and out of the space. For me to be really present here, and so I honour these plant spirits for their healing and for their wisdom. And for the circle as a whole, for all of us who are joined in now, both on Facebook and on Zoom, and for all of those who join in after the event, I'd leave this continuing to send those prayers up in the background for the whole circle. Clearing a bit of ash on the desk there. And now we've had that moment just to drop down a bit from our heads down into our hearts that little bit more deeply. Let's from our hearts send out that call to this land. We're a circle spread right across the world. So let's call to that land beneath us, that earth beneath us. For us in here in the UK, that land is awakening, that earth is awakening into early spring. It is warming and the sap is rising in the trees. The bulb is pushing through the soil. And so we honour the earth for all of its holding us and healing us on our journey through life. We call to the element of air, to these wild winds that have blown through here, guiding us forward into the spring, bringing with it new visions, new inspiration, new ideas. We call to the waters, to all of those waters of the sacred springs, with that timeless knowledge that they keep, that they've brought from underneath the earth, been there possibly thousands of years, tens of thousands of years or longer. We call to all of the waters that flow through the streams, that flow into the rivers, that carry all of those memories, and out to the sea, and to all of its depth and wisdom. And we honour the element of fire and the fire of the sun as we move into spring, that awakening of the light and of the warmth. And at the same time we honour all of those fires of inspiration, of creativity, of passion, of illumination, of understanding, of awakening. All of those fires within us. Let's once again call to all of our guides, healers, teachers, inspirers, spirit allies, and all of those unseen that work with us and work through us. Let us call to the ancestors. Let us call to those ancestors of our own bloodline. All of those lines behind us going back through time. To the ancestors of the land that we're connecting today on. Those first peoples. We honour them and their wisdom, their strength and their memory. And we honour the ancestors of these spiritual traditions, all of those that have passed them on in such a way that we can be here today, that we can continue to feel the call to connect with the sacred. And so for this whole circle, we call to all of the spirits of the north, of the east, of the south and the west, and ask the circle to be blessed. And to the earth below and sky above, fill the circle with purest love. Blessed be. So blessed be Aho. Amen. Thank you and welcome everybody, seen and unseen, as we gather here again tonight for the drumming circle. Welcome to all of those people who have joined while we were just doing a little bit of a time for grounding and calling to the unseen there to join with us in this space and in this moment and in this time. Really good to have you all here. Tonight's drumming circle, we're going to begin with a round of drumming just to connect on this heart level here as a circle. We're spread right around the world, and I missed some of those on the list there of people saying where they were joining in from. But we really are connecting in here from all around the world, a really, really wide circle. And so this first round of drumming is just to connect in together. Just a couple of notes, just in case there's a few people who are new. My dog hovers in and out ever so often. Sometimes she's out paying attention to what's going on the road, and you might hear a little bark in the distance. Sometimes she comes to do a little cameo role. We may be blessed by such this evening, but we shall see. And the other note is, with these online videos, online live streaming, we can get some spammers in the chat section offering all sorts of things like Bitcoin and free readings, or not free readings, but message me for a reading and I'll tell you kind of X, Y and Z. Please do be wary of the spammers who go into the chat there, and if any do pop up, please do report them. Zoom group, we seem to be not having those issues these days, but we have had some fun with Zoom back in the early days of these circles. With things like that, with these online spaces, there are a couple of those issues there we just need to be wary of. We are coming up to not long away from being a year since the first one we did of these, which was around the spring equinox, just after or just before the first lockdown in the UK, where the in-person drumming circles have since ceased, and we've been gathering here online mostly twice a month for these circles. And we're now coming to a point where we're hearing the roadmap in the UK of how we're looking to unwind these unwind the lockdown. And so we will see how it all goes, but it will probably be later on in the year before we know what's going on with drumming circles being back in person. So while we're physically separated from each other, we're all connected here on this level, and tonight we connect on that level through the drum and through the heartbeat of the drum. on our first round of drumming here. Each round of drumming is a prayer. We have an intention for it. We have a focus. There's a lot of healing and grounding and centering that we get from the drum beat, just hearing it ourselves. But there's a lot more energy that comes from it, and our intention with that in this first round is to weave this circle here together. So for all of you who have your drums, do grab your drums. Those of you who are connecting with that open heart tonight, that drum beating in your chest there, join in with us for this first round, this first prayer of unity. Connecting in as a circle all around the world, and connecting in with all of those unseen that we've called in, that are part of this circle that we've called in at the start here. Yeah, so I'll begin the drum rhythm and join in. So this is for unity. So just letting that feeling from the drums just sink in, and just using your breath just to ground yourself again and breathe your awareness back into your body, back to here and now. Moving your fingertips and your toes, moving your back a little bit, looking around the room, looking for something to focus on, or just to help bring yourself back. And I can see some faces of people returning back on the Zoom video. Give us a jazz hands wave. Fantastic. Or let us know in the comments if you are just returning, or send up one of the bubbles. Can't keep in time with the beat there. Go for every other, or just go with what feels natural. There's an interesting thing, the more you kind of struggle to think about it, or kind of, press yourself to think about it, it becomes impossible to stay in time then. So just do every other beat if the beat's too fast, say, and just see how it see kind of what rhythm you fall into there with it. Brilliant. I can see people returning on the with the bubbles there. During that round of drumming, the all of those prayers with the smudge herbs, I don't know if anybody may have noticed, started billowing up in the back there, and the room is gradually filled with incense smoke. And there was a moment throughout where I was just really struggling to see, and I was wondering whether it was a bad COVID evening. I thought I might need a trip to Barnard Castle, whichever one it is. But it wasn't that. It was the room filling with smoke. So if it's all gone very hazy for you as well, don't panic. That's all that is. As we can see over the shoulder there, it's smouldering rather than a flame. If anybody does see any flames behind me, do let me know. Pop a message in the chat or in the comment section. Maybe I'll spot it. This works as sort of a rear view mirror actually for most of it. Seeing the video here. So setting up all these candles behind me, it's at least safe with the camera pointed on it. So let us know in the comments section how that felt. I can see people starting and saying it was relaxing. But how about others? What was your experience from that? What was your feeling in that round of drumming? And how are you left feeling from it? And if anybody is still feeling a little bit in the betwixt and between, from that, do really consciously focus on bringing yourself back. It's really fine to dive deep during the round of drumming. When we come back from it, you need to be able to really come back as quick. I mean, it's never instant for everybody, but just be able to bring yourself back consciously and deliberately. It's the practice of having a foot in each world and being able to move between them at will. So people feeling it very soothing, others saying very harmonious, others really feeling the powerful energy of it. I guess, where we've been doing this for a year, I feel a real strength in that circle, where I've seen it before, kind of weaving as plants or as ribbons or as kind of like a basket. I felt a real strength there with new strands joining in with us all the time. So others feeling energized, others finding that kind of difficult to settle in at the start, others finding relaxing, others find it quite stirring of the emotions. Comment here, haven't drummed since last summer, so it was beautiful. Oh, fantastic. This is the sad thing with lockdowns is where people may only really have the opportunity at different gatherings or events or drumming circles to drum. It's as important as ever, maybe more important now, to be able to connect on this level through the drum. So really glad that you've found this evening and been able to have an opportunity to connect again with the drum for all that it brings us. The magic and chilled, soothing. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, being part of a circle. I don't know how you appeared in my live feed tonight, but it was meant to be. Oh, fantastic. I'm really pleased that it did, and grateful for everybody and anybody who's done the sharing of the video there, because that's kind of, you know, all of that helps people find it who are looking for something like this, a space like this where we can gather with the drums, where we can connect over the sacred rhythms and this wide circle, you know, together, even though physically apart. And so, yeah, thanks everybody who's been sharing the video that has been able to connect people up with this tonight. Yeah, others talking about that heart connection there. Fantastic, fantastic. I think the smoke is maybe starting to clear in this room a little bit. It's a bit much for my eyes, trying to focus over it all. And wonderful others who have joined in after seeing it being shared around and been able to join in whatever way they can. That's fantastic. All right. So let's kind of look on to our next round of drumming. And we're at an interesting time of the month. I talked a little bit about this time of the year on the journeying circle that we had earlier on in the month. And I want us in this round of drumming to honour the seasons as it is, and honour and acknowledge, and just let's drum some love and energy to what we are seeing in the land at the moment as the seasons start to shift and change. So I want that to come from you. If you could pop in the chat or in the comment section, what is it that you love about this time of the year? What is it that you're noticing already in the land, in the changes of season, in the changes of the season at the moment? We've had a real dramatic shift since the journeying circle, where we were talking about the snow. And we had a lot of snow in most places in the UK over that time, and quite a lot of snow, and that's changed very quickly. So what are we noticing now? What are we seeing in the land, and what's really standing out for us? I've loved the warmth and the warm mornings, and been able to go and sit out in the garden with the cup of coffee in the morning, just to see the day starting, and hearing the bird song a lot more. I don't know if I've had much of a break from the bird song for a while, but really hearing it very strongly at the moment. Others commenting here, the renewal, and this season is obviously the season of renewal, of rebirth. Others talking about the bulbs starting to come through, and the daffodils. I've got daffodils coming through in places where I didn't realise I had daffodils this year. I'd moved a load last year and thought they were all going to be over in a different place, but no, they had other plans. They're still emerging there. Lighter when walking, and also hearing the birds, people talking about the fresh air, the brightness and the light returning, more with the bird song. Others, you know, these being able to hang the washing out in the outdoors and having all the fresh air on the washing. Spring winds. Seeing nature wake up, the warmth of the sun. Lots of buds on the trees and birds, and the sun as you wake up, so the brighter mornings as well as the brighter evenings. The chirping of the birds and all the bulbs, and the bulbs flowering, the buds on the trees, the sap rising, frisky pigeons, spring flowers of irises and daffodils and crocuses, birds feeding. And across the water, a similar message of the buds on the tree already, the kind of the quick warming up there's been, and it's staying light into the evening. Just catching a couple on here. Mother Earth stretching and awakening. The frog spawn. I spent the day in the garden yesterday in the fire pit. First time since New Year's Eve. Yeah, it's calling us outdoors again. The catkins sunshine and birdsong, green haze on the trees, all of those new buds. Bright yellow sweetgrass flowers. This is from, again, right on the other side in San Francisco. The yellow sweetgrass flowers, and had the red-tailed hawks are flying more. Had a meeting with a coyote the other day in the front yard, which was amazing. Fantastic, fantastic. Blossoms and buds, the earth coming alive again, new growth, beautiful bird song. The cycle beginning again. Where does the cycle begin and where does it end? Or does it just continually weave and turn? We have got a song this evening, and the song is related to that turning of the wheel, because, you know, we are very much in that in-between seasons at the moment. The red kites that nest in the tree behind my house, coming back to nest. Hearing the wood pigeons again. Yeah, others refer to them as the frisky pigeons. All of the bulbs are up, the snowdrops and the crocuses in bloom. The rebirth of the land and the returning of warmth. Birds starting to nest. And we're sort of at the end of February, and we're really describing spring. And this is the time where kind of, you know, we are getting the kind of the early emergence of spring. I saw a post earlier on referring to it as fall spring. It's, you know, Jack Frost the trickster hasn't quite gone away yet. We're still in February. And it does relate to kind of one of the things that I often associate with this time of the month, where it's that real itching to get on, and you get those early bulbs of the daffodils and you get the blossoms coming out on the tree, and then there is another frost. It's still a little bit too early, and I really feel that in a lot of us, where we have this itching to get out and do things. It's different this year with lockdown and everything like that. There's a whole load that has changed, but usually it's this itching to get on and do things. We want to get out in the garden and do bits, but it's still too damn cold and the ground's too hard, and it's still too early to kind of get on with a lot of things. And but, you know, we're feeling that awakening, and it's one of the kind of the main lessons of this is that, you know, we think of ourselves as separate from nature, and we're describing all of these things that are going on in nature as something that happens outside the window that we observe, and we notice it happening. But those changes are happening within us. Just as the sap is starting to rise in the trees, that energy is starting to rise in us. And all of that kind of awakening of energy is all there. It was one of the reasons why last year around spring equinox, that going into lockdown just seemed so strange, because as we move into spring and as we move into the equinox, we're moving into things getting brighter, going more outward, and it would be more associated with us going outward, and we were being called to go inward, or kind of go indoors with the lockdown. And so this year, you know, we are you know, in the same way as what happens with the cycles of nature, both outside and within us, there is this time of reawakening, of rebirth, of new beginnings, of that sap rising and that energy rising. So all of those things that we are talking about as being the things that we love of this time of year going on around us, let's also honour that energy and how it moves within us and through us. And within this round of drumming, we're going to honour the season, honour the spirit of the season, honour all of those, honour and acknowledge and drum some love and gratitude and energy to all of those things that we've named and spoken in that round there, as we've thrown together so many beautiful associations and connections that we have with this time. Let's drum for them. So whether it's with the drum or with your heart, let's honour the spirit of the season. Again, letting those rhythms just soak into yourself, but deepening your breath a bit just to breathe your energy and your awareness right back into your body. Breathing all the way down to your fingertips and your toes. Getting some movement back into your body there. Waking that body back up. Really looking around the room, eyes wide open. Just having a real good look around. That's it. And do let us all know that you're back. A wave, a bubble, a comment. Brilliant. A thumb. Excellent. Great. I can start. They always take a few seconds longer on Facebook, where I can start to see life emerging again. On the comment feed, on the reactions, whatever they're called. Well, welcome back everybody from that lovely round of drumming there. Pop in the comments what your experience was of it as well. Do let us know in there. Yeah, wonderful. Energetic and exhilarating. Thumbs up, hopeful and uplifting, energized, energizing. Superb, superb. Yeah, it was quite powerful to do. If you need to just take that little extra effort just to make sure you're back. Breathing that little bit deeper. Really get the oxygen back in. Moving your legs. Moving your feet. Great. Can see life from a few more people on there. That's wonderful. Excellent, excellent. Interesting experience of, have that so many times. Wasn't sure I was in the drum song, then you realised at the end, how deep you go with things. That's really, really quite common. And that's why it is important to kind of practice that skill of being able to bring yourself back quickly, because sometimes you might go deeper than you realised on things. Sometimes there is something that calls you that little bit deeper to connect with something during a round of drumming, and being able to make sure you can bring yourself back, that you're not left in that space, is a really important skill to develop with this. So yes, do deepen your breath. Do move your fingertips and your toes. Do start feeling your legs, looking around the room, changing your position. Look for something in the room that stands out or that's pretty to look at, and focus on that. All just helps bring you back into the room here. Brings all of your attention, all of your awareness back into the space that you're in. All right, super, super. So just a couple of updates from me since last time we were on here with the Journeying Circle. Thank you so much everybody for all of your messages of support and all of those that held me in mind on the earlier this month when I had the court case for the environmental activism that I was arrested for. I've posted the update for that, and it was in the newsletter, so hopefully people have seen that, how that went. I was told that it's not a reasonable excuse to say that I did what I did because I wanted to save lives. We've had an interesting thing in the UK where a major politician has since come up with that excuse for breaking the law, and apparently that's good enough for him. So we'll be interested to see whether or not anything changes in that regard. That if that's all right for leading politicians to, if it's a good enough excuse for leading politicians, whether that's a good enough excuse for the rest of us. But there is somewhere on the Heron Drums page as well. There's a little bit of an update from me on that. But thank you for everybody who kind of messaged, those who contributed to the fundraiser for it, and everybody who held me in mind on that day for that. Since then, I've needed a bit of time to rest, but we're kind of back kind of ready for everything again this week. I'm going to pop a couple of event links on the comment section on the Facebook page, and just to kind of link in with some other things that are going on this week. We are continuing with our online ceremonies to connect in with Stonehenge. Stonehenge at the moment, if people aren't aware, there is plans for a road and a tunnel to plough through the sacred landscape of Stonehenge, and going to cause all sorts of damage to the local wildlife, to the ancient springs that we know have been that have had human interaction for at least 10,000 years, and sacred springs traditionally have always been held sacred, have always been sacred sites. Damage it's going to have to the sacred spring there, but also to the sacred landscape of Stonehenge, and all of the damage to the history, the artifacts, but also the desecration of what is still a sacred site. So we're continuing to do work connecting with that as we campaign to defend the site. So this Saturday is the full moon, and we are having another one of our online Stonehenge full moon ceremonies, and that's going to be on Zoom and streamed to the Sacred Earth Activism page. So I'll pop in the comment section for this afterwards the link to join in for that. The other thing starting this week is the Spiritual Rewilding course, which is starting tomorrow night. And so, if there's any kind of a day left to sign up, you need to sign up before we start to join us tomorrow evening from 7. We're running for the next 8 weeks, looking at practices to connect us to the spirits of the land, to work with the spirits of the land, and to be working ways in which we can work more in tune with the cycles of nature. So there is already a link on the Facebook blurb at the top there, and I'll pop that in the comment section before. But if you were thinking about it and waiting, we're starting tomorrow evening at 7. There will probably be a cut-off late tomorrow afternoon, so if you're wanting to join on that course, do it quickly, because you do need to kind of join before we start on that one. Just checking a couple of the comments. There may be some of the comments here that I have to check and get back to you afterwards. I might not be able to reply to all of those on there straight away. And just a reminder, somebody reminded me last week and said that I needed to actually say about it during the drumming circles. As mentioned, the in-person drumming circle, these are happening online because the in-person drumming circles can't be taking place at the moment. And these are a free circle for everybody to get involved in. But if you can and you are wanting to give a donation, there is the paypal.me link on the Facebook event, Facebook video blurb, where if you're wanting to give a contribution for the evening, it's not expected but very much appreciated if people are able to at the moment. It's the paypal.me/Heron Drums, and it should take you to a page that will have the logo on there, and you're then able to pop in a contribution if you're able to, and if you're wanting to. But yes, I can see a couple of people replying and asking to do with the Spiritual Rewilding course. On the Facebook video, it's up in the blurb at the top. there is a link, but I'll pop it in the chat afterwards as well, so you can go and read more details and see how to sign up on that one. And there isn't, I haven't got the link for the Full Moon Stonehenge, but I'll pop that on there later on. So so we'll pop all of those links in afterwards. And for those of you who are on Zoom, that's where to find them all, on the Facebook one. If you need them separately, do let me know in the chat there, and I can pop them in the chat at the end of the session here as well. I think that is all of the updates. This space is continuing. As I said, the next one will be on the 9th of March, where we'll be having a journeying circle, and then we'll be back on the 23rd of March for the drumming circle. I do always love how March and February have the same days of the week. It does make it a little bit easier for a month to remember to give announcements on dates. That's brilliant. But yes, I think that's all of the updates there. Do message me in the chat if there's anything that I've missed that you're wanting any more information on, or any links on, and I will pop those in there afterwards, after we finish the circle. So what we'll do now is we'll have we've got another 2 rounds of drumming. We're going to do the song at the end. We should be able to bring the drums into it. We'll see how we get on. But the first one we'll do now is our healing round. And very important to remember that still there's a lot of people who are having real challenges with the situation we're in. There is normal life challenges, and there are challenges presented by the situation that we find ourselves in, with lockdowns, with sickness and all sorts. So for all of those that we want to drum some love and some energy to, let's have a round of drumming which we hold for them. I've seen a comment on there saying, can I email you a question? Yes, that's fine to email me a question, or if you're on the Facebook page, you can send a message on the Facebook page and I can get back to you there. But let's now have our space now for the healing round. And what I invite you to do is, if there's anybody that you know, whether they're friend or family, that could do with some love and some strength at the moment, sent to them. We've got our circle cast wide, and what we're going to do is bring them into the centre of the circle, so that, as I say, every round of drumming is a prayer and we get what we need from it, but there's a whole lot more energy. And for this round of drumming, we dedicate that to them, so that they can take that energy, that strength and that love to carry on forward as they need to in their life. And if we were in a in-person circle, we may name the person. What I just kind of say is, because we're on Facebook and it's on a public kind of place there, if we just pop initials or just pop first names or something like that in there, just so things aren't identifiable, for those people that we're going to pop into the centre of our circle here. Brilliant, I can see those just starting to come in there. With all of that love that's connected for those people. Okay. Still lots of names coming through at the moment, so I'll just give it just a moment or two. Oh, we welcome Heidi as well. Hey there, Heids. Okay. So for all those that we've named, all of those that come to mind, let's hold them in our mind and in our hearts, and hold them as a circle as we dedicate this round of drumming to them, for love and strength, to help them in whatever way they're needing it at the moment. And so may the voice of all of those drums ripple out and carry those prayers of love and strength out to all those that we've named and all those we didn't name that we held in our minds and our hearts, who could do with the love and strength right now. All those that we've just held as a circle there, to drum some love and some strength to them. Let it reach out to them. And for all of us in the circle, as always, we absorb what we need from the drums there. It helps move and shift what it needs to move and shift for us. It helps reconnect to what we need to reconnect with for ourselves. And as we just come back from that, just let's bring our attention back to our breath. Bring our attention there to our breath and to our bodies, and really opening our eyes and bringing our attention and focus back into the room. Excellent. I can see some people already who have started with the thumbs and the bubbles going up on the side and letting me know that they're back in the comments. I can see some open eyes on the computer screen there. Are there some jazz hands to go with them? Excellent, excellent. Good to see everybody. Do let us know that you're back. Yeah, thank you. Got the very technological Zoom thumbs. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And let us know how you're doing, how you found that. How that round of drumming was for you. We just have a couple of minutes back here before we go on to our song for this evening. Great, I can see more people back. I saw a wow message. I saw some people feeling the strength of that. You know, once we get to this point in the evening where we've really connected in with the drums, and we get to this point where we're sending those prayers of love and strength and healing out to people, it really deepens at this point here, and a lot of people are really feeling that powerful prayers of love and strength, breathing it out, beautiful, feeling it powerful. Others feeling quite tearful, others feeling the strength and commandingness of that round, very moving and powerful. So for all those people who are feeling the love and strength and power of that, all those prayers make their way out to them as the drum beats ripple out. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. So we tend to end these evenings on a song, and I try to find a song that ties in with the season, and it's very interesting. Those of you who are joining us online but from the Ashford Drumming Circle will know that it's around spring. Me and somebody else will kind of often be huddling at the beginning, kind of going, have we got a spring chant? What chant can we do for spring? What one can we do? I do find it hard to find spring chants. We've even tried to make up a couple over the years. So this is actually a call out. If you've got any suggestions of spring chants that we can do, particularly next month, which will be not only, I think, 1 year, almost to the day of the first one of these that we did last year, but it will also be our closest one to the spring equinox. I also just realised that we have said 23rd, which if it was going to be the last, it would be the 30th. Leave that one with me. I'll have to kind of see. It might be nicer to have it so it ties in with the... Excuse Heidi. Heidi's got an opinion on this. It might be nicer for it to tie in with the anniversary of this online circle and to tie in with the spring equinox. So I think we will, if we can, go for the 23rd. That would make sense. Yeah, decided. There we go. But if we've got some spring chants ready for that one next month, that would be great. But yes, this is the the one that yes, Heidi does say 23rd. She was very, very clear on that. Here she comes. Oh no, she's changed her mind. She's sticking with the 23rd though. Yes, the chant that we usually go for, and I wonder if Tony will remember us the times that we've tried, or I've tried to get the group to do this. I know this one as working in rounds. Consider yourself lucky that we don't, because we're online, that we don't have to agonise over trying to get it working in rounds. Part of the agony is that I never remember one of the rounds, and so then it makes it very difficult to kind of teach a group or lead a group on a chant when I always forget it myself. We'll do the main bit, but I'll talk you through the whole bit. And Julia, I've had a search today. I cannot find where this one is. If anybody recognises it and knows any details about where this chant comes from, it's one I've heard years ago, and no matter how many times I search, I think I have searched and then found it. But today I haven't been able to find kind of where it comes from. So it relates to the turning of the wheel, and the one part of the chant goes, turning, returning, transforming, my heart's fire is turning, returning, transforming, my heart's fire is... It rolls like that. That's quite straightforward. I'm sure you've all picked that up as we've as simply as I've done that. The other part that I would usually try and get the group to do is something that goes along the lines of winding, binding the seeds we've sown, weaving the truths we've known, bringing them home again. And I always get that one in a muddle. And it's good fun, isn't it, Tony? I see. Yes, I remember. Yeah, it's good fun. Unfortunately, because we're online, we will just be doing the first bit of that. But it makes it simpler, at least, to start off with. So let's go with that. Let me pick up the drum, and if it seems to make sense to bring a drum into it, I'll bring a drum to it. Obviously, you do what you want at home. Bring in the drum, don't bring in the drum. Just drum along, whatever works for you. But let's, with this, just end the evening honouring the turning of the wheel. Turning, returning, transforming, my heart's fire is 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 turning, returning, transforming, my heart's could go on forever. That's the returning, awakening fire of the year, the fire of our dreams, visions, inspirations, creativity, awakening as we go into spring. I think that was as much as my breathing could do. Keep it going, trying to find the little gaps in there to take a breath. Excellent. Well, maybe that will be a song that will keep on rolling there in your mind in the coming days as we acknowledge the turning of the wheel, the returning of spring, the changing of seasons, and a nice one to end this evening on. So thank you very much everybody for joining, and let's all, as we just close this circle here that's cast right out around the world, let's take this moment to honour and thank all of those unseen, all of those that have weaved their energy and their magic in and throughout everything this evening. To the drums, to the spirits of the drums, for their healing, for their wisdom, for their simple magic, their simple yet profound magic that helps connect us deeply with ourselves as a circle here and with all that is. And so for all this and more, let us say thank you, thank you, thank you. And may we continue to be held by these energies that we've connected with this evening in the coming days and weeks and months. Blessed be. Okay. So thank you very much everybody for joining on. I'll get to some of the questions in the chat there, or comments that I might have missed as I go along. As I said, I'll add in those links to the Stonehenge full moon ceremony, which is this Saturday, the spiritual rewilding course, which starts tomorrow, so there's the deadline to sign up if you're wanting to join that. And yeah, I'll pop those into the chat there. But the next time we will be here in this space will be on the 9th of March for our journeying circle, and look forward to seeing many of you there. Do please keep sharing out the event page and the details with this. As we've seen this evening, there's lots of people who haven't seen of this before and have had this chance to reconnect with their drum, and so let's continue to widen this circle. So thank you very much everybody, and yes, look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. Take care.